Yo, welcome to Disruptive Minds. I'm your host, Jerome A. Carter, and the A stand for always learning. Well, we're going to try to make this a short video. We'll see how that works out. The purpose of this channel. What's the purpose of this channel? Why am I even making this channel? Why does any of this even matter? It's pretty simple. When it comes to mental health, when it comes to men and mental health, it's like a non-conversation starter. Like, people aren't even remotely even thinking about men and their mental health, especially black men and their mental health. So this channel is devoted entirely to men, particularly black men, and their mental health. That's it. Period in the story. There's not going to be a bunch of conversations about women's and politics and all this other nonsense that's going on out here in the world. Because at the end of the day, none of that matters if you don't have your peace of mind. If you don't have your peace of mind at the end of the day, does any of that really matter? No. So, with this being, this is even the first video. I made videos before, but this channel's been through a couple variations and changes. So this is going to be the newest vamp of how this channel is going to go. So I'm going to start off with what I call the Pope Principle. What is the Pope Principle? Pope Principle stands for personally observe, personally experience. Let me say that again. Personally observe, personally experience. People are giving advice on things that they haven't personally observed or personally experienced. They heard it from somebody else, which is hearsay, or they read about it, which is like anybody can read about something and then start talking about it. That's not how this works. You have to go to people who actually Pope Principle. Personally observe, personally experience what they are talking about. That's how you get women who don't have kids talk about what it's like to raise kids. You get guys who never been married talk about guys who are married. See what I'm saying? You got that crisscross where it's just like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not gonna listen to you, right? Everything about this channel is going to be from my personally observed, personally experienced. Being raised by a single mom, which I call RBMs. I'll talk about that in another video. Being an educated lane, we'll talk about that in another video. Being that going to the Air Force was the hardest branches to go into, the Air Force. You got to score the highest on the ASVAB to go to the Air Force. Then we'll talk about the 12 years of my law enforcement experience. Then we'll talk about psychology. Definitely talk about psychology. I didn't go to school for it. I took some classes. I got my a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, so I took classes in psychology. Learned a lot about mental health, but also I'm a self-directed, which is like autodidactic. I'm self-directed, meaning that I learn something that I want to learn. I go for what I want to learn versus going to school and them teach you a bunch of other stuff that don't even matter. I go directly to what I want to learn. I go directly to what I want to do. That way I can dig deep and learn that thing. I'm not going to talk about family dynamics. I'm not going to talk about children dynamics. I'm going to talk about childhood traumas and all that. See, that's too much. It's overwhelming. Psychology in general, mental health in general is too huge to try to cover each and every little bit. What part do I choose to focus on? I choose to focus on your foundation. What is your foundation? Your foundation is your subconscious. What is your subconscious? Your subconscious is what is formed between the ages of 0 to 7 years old. 0 to 7 years old, your subconscious is formed. And during the course of your life, when you're going through different experiences, your subconscious is constantly absorbing that stuff in. If your foundation is faulty, your decisions are going to be faulty. Your results are not going to be what you want. That's as simple as I can put it. But if your foundation is not right, your decisions aren't going to be right, and you're going to get a result you're not going to like. It's just that simple. So what I'm going to try to do, or what I'm going to do over a series of videos, explanations, personally observed, personally experienced situations, is to show that you have a way of changing your foundation. You have a way of changing and altering your subconscious mind so you can make better decisions. Because if you're an RBM like me, which is raised by mom, most of your decisions are going to be made from a female perspective. Not female decision, female perspective. If that's all you see is a bunch of women making decisions, when you make decisions, it's going to be more than likely going to be female directed. You're going to be highly more emotional and argumentative, which you see a lot of men who are more argumentative, rambling, not getting to the point. And it says blah, 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 blah. It's like what they call word salad, blah, 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 blah. We're going to cut through all that. We're going to cut through all that. These videos are to cut through all that. You're going to make a decision. You're going to stick by that decision and keep it pushing. But your decision-making process has to be changed from this emotional, feminine mindset to a more masculine, male mindset. And it's going to take a process. This is not an overnight process. You didn't get to where you were overnight. You're not going to change overnight. It's a process. And you have to trust the process. What I call TTP. You got to trust the process. This is not going to be, you didn't get here overnight. Feeling me? Trusting the process is exactly what I say. Exactly what I mean by that is, first, when I talk about subconscious and I talk about things that are going on, like I'm focused mainly how the military deals with things, right? They put you through a basic military training because they want to get everybody on the same page. And they want to have you open, have your mind ready to deal with what they're going to teach you after the basic military training. What I have is what I call basic mindset training. Basic mindset training. It's not the same mindset training you see online and these, this shit drives me crazy. And it's like, well, vision this and do that. Look up, after this video, Google changing your mindset and you'll just see a bunch of stuff that's so arbitrary. It's so like eerie. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's just like, it doesn't help. It's not helping. You're not seeing your progress on a day-to-day basis. So what I do with basic mindset training, make your bed every day. Make your bed. Number 2, you should have a journal and a planner. You should be writing in that journal and planner every day. You should be making goals and plans every day. You should know what you're doing next year this time. It should be written down next year this time. Most people don't know what they're doing the rest of the year, let alone next year this time. 2024 today, you need to know, boop, what am I doing? This is what I'm doing. Here go my plan. This is what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And the third thing you need to do is limit your social media. Social media, cameras, and different websites, all this other stuff is diluting the brain. It's causing dopamine problems, causing a bunch of hormone problems. It's not a good deal, period. It's not. You have to limit your social media. From watching the fights and the arguments and the fussing and the back and forth, the male and the female, and the red pill, blue pill, purple pill, all that is diluting you. It's causing issues. You don't see it, you don't feel it because your subconscious is constantly absorbing it and you're going to respond to it. I'm going to work with you to change that. This is strictly about mental mindset and changing the mindset slowly but surely. TTP. Trust the process. Slowly but surely. Because at the end of the day, you really don't have any other options. You can live in a park, or you can be living in a bridge because you're just making these bad decisions, and society is going to just let you do it. And let me add this part before I end this video. The decisions you make are going to hurt people. Guaranteed. So if you're not ready to take the good with the bad, don't even start the training. I'm out.